and I missed that. I made a mistake here. My curve is completely off. There's other points that are important. So I looked at the points that are the x on the x-axis, the x-intercept. Now what I forgot is, you see when the two curves are intersecting, so y1 and y2 are intersecting here. What it means, when you do the addition of ordinate, you add the same amount, so you double that. So by doubling that is, when you add those two, that's going to be double, that's going to be somewhere over here. Okay, over here, the two, somewhere over here, the two curves are intersecting. I double it, that's going to be over here. Okay, so my curve is completely off. It's going to be something more like that. So I'll cross that off, I'll cross that off. And what it means when, okay, when they, so let me zoom in a situation. I'm going to mention when they're the opposite, okay, but let's say we look at a section when they both the same side. So let's say I zoom in somewhere on this side. Okay, so on this side, what you do is, let's say I do something like that. The curve, one curve goes up, one curve goes down, and let's say that's my, I need my x-axis. So the way you do when you have you do your the addition of ordinates, so you can actually, if you move a ruler, your ordinate means your vertical line. Every time you move your vertical line, you can actually generate a series of points. So again, the first point that you got is this one, because this amount is 0. Now if I move to a next line, and let's say I do this one, I create a line. Let's say we do intervals of lines, let's say every half units. The more points you pick, the more accurate you're going to be. Okay, so we have that one as well. That's a good one, because this one is when the other function is equals 0. This one is you double it, and what you do is you use a ruler, you measure that that amount. Hopefully you have an accurate graph when you do that, or if you sketch it, you really need to be as close to a graph scale. Okay, otherwise it won't look really good. So here you take that amount. Me, I'm using my fingers, but just use a ruler, you double that amount, and that gives you the sum of the two. Now I'm doing that because they're the same sign, so they're both positive. Okay, yes, you can do a table, but because it's asking you to do a sketch or graph, that might be a little bit time consuming. And the fact that you're using only pi on 4, depending on the size of your interval, so pi on 4 or pi on 2 is worse, it's too large, like you don't know what's going to happen between 0 and pi on 2. So the smaller the interval, the more points you get, the more precise you're going to be, but it's going to take you more time. So you need to compromise. Now, if they both the same side, what you do is quickly, you place your ruler here, you pick one point on one curve. Okay, so let's say I pick, usually I pick the highest, and what I'm going to do is add the smaller amount from the x-axis. So I measure that small amount here, and I shift it, I translate that over here, and that gives me where the function of the sum of the two will do that. And you do that along the curve. So let's say I do another one here. I'll start from here, that I measure, and I transpose that over here, and that roughly gives me another point. So you do that when you're on the same side, so they're both positive, and you can do the same when they're both negative. Now in the situation when they're different signs, so let's look at, we zoom in, let's say over here. So I'm going to need the x-axis again. I have my curve doing, let's say here, and let's do what it did here. So it's 0 to a max. Okay, so we have two how do you do that? So it needs to go through this one and that one, and again I do let's say some vertical lines. You don't need to draw the lines. What you do is you slide your ruler and you place it. So you pick, when you do is you need a starting point. What I do is I look at the amplitude, okay, and I look at the one that that is the highest. By the way, it's kind of the same, so if it's the same and the opposite, it means it's going to go through here. Okay, now let's say I move to the next one, okay, and I look at the amplitude. I ignore the sign, so that's a negative and that's a positive. So let's say I look at the positive, that's the highest, so I'm going to start from here, but because I have a minus here, what I measure here, that is what I need to subtract. Okay, so now the sum of the two is going to be here. That's how you graphically do the difference. So again, it's addition of ordinates, but here you have a positive coordinate and here you have a negative y. Yep. But again, I'm not using a ruler because I'm doing a kind of a yeah, maybe. Alright, so here is the highest, the small amount here that you need to subtract. So I subtract here, and that's where the curve is going to end. So here I have a series of points, and I can just interpolate, sort of do a smooth line between those the points I have. Depending on the number of marks, but then again, because you're learning to do this, the more you practice that in those skill questions, now I know it's time consuming, but you're going to get better. You build up your skills. It's about practicing, training, and to get to a point when it becomes nearly automatic. Now if it's a full graph, usually a full graph is like 4 marks. But if you had a graph, what you could do is what Louis was mentioning before, is having a table of values. Now if you kind of tech savvy, what you could do is, as you define your two functions, well, you can always graph the sum of the two, okay, and copy down the values. But yes, you do use a spreadsheet and do the sum of the two, so you're missing out some, you want to add some additional point on your graph. You can use that table of values to do so, to fill in the missing value. But as I said, if you use a ruler and you have a pretty decent graph for both functions, and that's, you should know that for the basic sine and cosine, that is what you should get. No, the amplitude will not define how many points. In this situation with circular function, what's going to affect the number of points you're going to need is, depending, you add two functions, if they have a shorter period, and it means you have more cycles, then you kind of need more points to get a better idea of what the curve look like. Because now what's going to happen is, when you do the sum of the two, unless you can factorize it into a simple picture, so I'll just read what you just sent me now. If you combine it as a single circular function, at the moment it's a sum, so being a sum, you don't know what the period of the new function is, okay? It's kind of how, I think it has a certain pattern, it will kind of repeat, but the sum of the two doesn't necessarily tell you that the period is 2 pi as well. Yes, I will send that on Discord. What do you mean, Louis? Can you do that? What do you mean by that? You still talking about the picture? That's not gonna help you really, because you turn your cos of x into a sine by doing complementary, but that's a translated sine. How do you combine them? Now, if there wasn't a 2 in front of one of the function, it's actually using the, you could use either cos or sine of x plus y. That would work. So if there wasn't a 2, is actually you will come up with the function that will have a period of probably pi. Yeah. Easy way to find out is, it's not really a vertical line test, okay? It's more, what do we do is, by doing that line, we taking the same y coordinates corresponding to the same x, okay? And we adding or subtracting depending on the sign of either of them. Now, it's not about just for sine and cos function. Doing the addition of ordinate, you can do that with any kind of functions that are added or subtracted together. Okay, let me see what you just... No, by the way, the domain of both functions is R, so I could have continued as well. I don't know if I'm answering your question really, but let me see what it looks like when I graph it. So I graph the sum of the two. Now I need to know anyway, I'm just looking at the function. The period is going to be 2 pi. Has to be, because they both have a 2 pi period. So well, hang on. Let me post that. So where we're about here. while you let me mark the roll. GR what? No. John. Okay. So that's 16 and there's 16 of you. Okay. Mehdi, welcome back. Yep, go on.